This is Impact Signals, your daily briefing on how AI is reshaping disaster response, humanitarian aid, and social impact. I'm joined by our analyst. It's Friday, February 20th, 2026, and this has been a landmark week. The India AI Impact Summit wraps today, and the announcements keep coming. Let's get into it.
The biggest story today is a $60 million commitment from three of the world's largest health philanthropies. The Gates Foundation, the Novo Nordisk Foundation, and Wellcome announced a joint investment to fund locally led evaluations of AI health tools in low and middle income countries. The first call for proposals is already open, targeting AI decision support tools for frontline health workers, doing triage, diagnosis, and referrals in sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia.
This matters because there's a massive evidence gap, right? Hundreds of AI health tools are being deployed in these regions, but almost nobody is doing rigorous real-world evaluations.
Exactly. And notice the emphasis on locally led. These aren't external evaluations imposed from Geneva or Seattle. They're funding researchers in the countries where these tools are actually being used. Separately, the Gates Foundation and OpenAI's Horizon 1000 initiative is already putting AI tools in 1,000 primary health clinics across Africa, starting in Rwanda.
Meanwhile, at the India summit, UN Secretary General Guterres made a direct demand, $3 billion for a global AI fund. His exact words, that's less than 1% of the annual revenue of a single tech company.
It's a pointed statement. He's calling out the concentration of AI power and capital. The fund would build skills, data capacity, and computing infrastructure in developing nations. He warned that without this investment, many countries will be, his phrase, logged out of the AI age entirely. He also announced the appointment of 40 experts to the new International Scientific Panel on AI, and the inaugural Global Dialogue on AI Governance starts in July.
And as these policy conversations are happening in New Delhi, the real-world urgency is getting worse. WFP just issued a devastating warning about Somalia.
This broke today. The World Food Programme says life-saving food assistance in Somalia could halt completely by April unless emergency funding comes through. Millions at risk. WFP Deputy Executive Director Carl Scow laid out the numbers at the summit. Overall funding fell 40% in 2025, from $10 billion down to $6.4 billion. They had to lay off 6,000 staff. In Afghanistan, they went from supporting 8 million people to just 2 million. And he said directly, children will die because of these cuts. AI, he argued, was now essential for making those shrinking dollars go further. WFP's Chief Data Officer, Magan Naidu, said predictive analytics and logistics AI could boost efficiency by 30 to 50%.
So the juxtaposition is stark. Billions being pledged for AI infrastructure, and meanwhile the agencies that could use AI most desperately are running out of money to operate at all.
That tension is the story of the summit. But let's talk about a genuinely exciting technical development from the event. India launched VoiceEra, an open-source AI stack that targets over 700 Indian dialects. That goes way beyond the 22 official languages they were already covering with the Bhashini platform.
700 dialects in real-time speech recognition and translation?
That's the goal. It's designed as national-scale infrastructure, enabling access to healthcare advice, legal aid, agricultural support in the actual language people speak. Not standardized Hindi, not English, their local dialect. India also unveiled Param 2, a 17 billion parameter multilingual model covering 22 languages with multimodal capabilities. For disaster response, this kind of NLP infrastructure could be transformative. When a cyclone hits Tamil Nadu, early warnings in the actual local dialect save lives.
Speaking of cyclones and research, a new paper dropped today that's directly relevant.
Published in Physics of Fluids, researchers in Hong Kong demonstrated that hybrid models, combining deep learning with traditional physics-based weather forecasting, significantly improve cyclone track prediction while maintaining stable intensity forecasts. The practical takeaway? Use fast, cheap deep learning models for initial track assessment, then run the hybrid model for high-resolution intensity forecasts. Given that Cyclone Jazani just killed over 63 people across Madagascar, this isn't abstract research. It's the difference between hours of extra warning and no warning at all.
And on that cyclone, the recovery effort continues.
10 days post-landfall, MapAction released graded building damage maps using satellite imagery from February 15th. The numbers are staggering. 24,699 houses destroyed, 48,041 damaged, 25,266 flooded, and nearly 424,000 people affected across Madagascar. NASA deployed MODIS, Lancet, and iMerge sensors. Action Against Hunger set up Starlink connectivity to maintain coordination despite total power loss. The EU Copernicus Emergency Management Service remains activated. This is what modern disaster recovery looks like. Satellite AI mapping the damage, humanitarian organizations coordinating through space-based internet.
We should also flag what's happening in the Philippines. A new report shows 12.7 million workers, primarily women and youth, face significant AI-related job disruption, the highest vulnerability in all of ASEAN.
But here's the counterpoint. A separate policy paper argues the Philippines needs to build sovereign AI capacity precisely because local models can serve local needs. The country faces 20 typhoons a year. AI for disaster early warning and response in Filipino and regional languages represents a massive untapped opportunity. It's the same argument as Voice Era in India, AI that works in the language communities actually speak.
And the summit itself wraps today with expected outcomes?
The leaders' declaration is expected, affirming shared commitments on global AI governance. India formally joined the US-led Pax Silica Semiconductor Alliance. Over 500,000 people visited. Major investments committed across the week. Google's $15 billion in India AI infrastructure, $75 million plus in impact challenges, plus substantial pledges from Microsoft and others. Time magazine offered a reality check. Big names, limited concrete governance mechanisms, but having the first ever Global South AI Summit matters symbolically and practically.
Before we wrap, upcoming events. The AAAI Spring Symposium on AI plus Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Relief is April 7th through 9 in Burlingame, California. If you work in this space, that's the event. Keynote by Humanitarian AI Award winner Milind Tombe. Google's AI for Government Challenge deadline is April 3rd, and the Science Challenge deadline is April 17th. Links in the show notes.
And one more, Devo Team's Global AI Hackathon, March 13th through 15th. 48 hours, fully remote. Good for rapid prototyping if you've got a humanitarian AI concept you want to build out.
Active monitoring. Somalia food crisis. WFP warning aid halts by April. Cyclone Gazani recovery in Madagascar with satellite mapping ongoing. Sudan conflict with drone strikes killing 57 this week, including children in displacement camps. Afghanistan severe weather. That's Impact Signals for February 20th, 2026. Full research at impactsignals.ai.